Hello folks, welcome to Pushing the Boundaries. Today gives me great pleasure to chat with Radovan Oresky, Chief Solutions Officer at eMark. A great problem solver, Radovan has been rocking the BI scene with his solution design, clean, crisp and powerful. Awarded Click Luminary status 2020, he has been developing and sharing notable solutions that really make a difference. His expertise is renowned and respected by everyone who knows and works with him. So now is the time for us to meet, push some of those boundaries and find out some of the latest thinking from the man himself. Good morning, Radovan. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy to see you in these circumstances. But yeah, I'm in office, and yeah, it would be great to meet in person. But this is also all right.
Yeah, I can see you're definitely socially distancing in there. I can't see a soul. Is it not a padded cell, I hope?
There are a few people in the office, but yeah, we're trying to keep remote, and it's working for us very well. So that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's making sure you do the right things at the right time, which will get business and get society through, won't it? So well done to the team there for doing all the right things.
Yeah. I mean, everybody adjusted really quickly to this remote work. I mean, a lot of our people already have been working remotely for a longer time, so productivity has been great. I have only kind words to my team. Everybody was great.
Yeah. So Radovan, you've been awarded the Click Luminary 2020 this year. So what makes you, which is great, congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
That's all right. So what makes you so passionate about data?
Well, data. I just love it. I just love to work with data because it's the truth. From my experience, anytime I received some data set and had a look at this, started to play with it, I immediately saw some insights into what that company, what that business is about. So I really love to work with data, like play around with it, reveal those secrets that it holds. And I especially like dirty data. Like the more raw, the more from the source system it is, the better, because that's just the truth about how the business is done in the company. So that's really exciting for me to do first analysis of any new data set. That's just amazing.
And you torture it to reveal its secrets, and they do, don't they? They give up quite easily. I mean, data does give up quite easily.
They do. One doesn't have to touch them that much if you have such a great tools like Click. Then it's really easy.
Yeah, and I think that's the point, isn't it? So, in business, you can go from not having much, no sort of maturity in your data and analytics, but very quickly you can start to really get great insight and transform your business super quick. And again, seeing your passion and how you're talking about that, I share a similar passion with you, Radovan, is that the difference you can make when you wake up every day and you go to work and you do something quite sort of transformational for customers or for colleagues, for the business. And that really drives you, doesn't it? That really gets you out of bed every day, doesn't it?
It's true. I mean, to see the impact that it has on the, I mean, it's always hard to really say that this data analytics solutions led to these kind of outcomes in the business. That's kind of hard to have this direct impact. But the thing I love more is to see the people who start to work with data. They start to be enthusiastic about working with data. They start to talk about it, be excited about using the tools that help them to analyze it. That's better. That's much better than maybe those business impacts, which are there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you hit the magic bit there, is when you bring people and technology, get people excited and working with technology, sort of really kind of forming a mutual relationship with technology becomes part of how you do your job. And critical, essential, a strategic imperative. And when you get that happening, and people that understand that and how to get the interface between people and technology really well, that is when you get the magic and you start to get changes, ways of working changes in the organization, how people do their business. So that's great to hear. So thinking about a little bit more about you, actually, Radovan. How did you get into analytics? What's your career path for that?
Well, 14 years ago, I heard a presentation when I was at the university from one of our partners, Andre Orca, who is now running the Australian subsidiary of our company.
Yeah.
And he was talking about these things like data analytics, having KPIs to monitor the performance of the business, how it influences the business processes, and really it immediately it resonated with me. So I also wrote a thesis and started to work with eMark in my 5th year of university, and have been working in eMark since then. So yeah, the path, of course, was not as straightforward. There were some bumps in the road. You had the 2009 crisis that was there. It was tough times in company. We had to change the delivery team multiple times. But yeah, all in all, it was just great journey to see all those projects come to life, and the customers, as well as our internal things, because I'm also the leader here in the company of our using of our solutions for our company in Click. So that's also another part of me that is actually not only on the side of a person who is delivering and creating those solutions for customers, but also being a user myself. That's also nice.
That's great. And, you've seen strong growth, in the company. I know you've been recognized one of the sort of strongest growing companies in the European Union, etc. So great success, and congratulations to you and the team. And I think looking at what you do and your values, I'm not surprised. So big well done on that. In terms of I guess getting to some of the things that the audience might be really interesting is about what sort of challenges do you see your customers facing right now? What are the key things you're seeing in the industry?
Well. As everybody knows, the data is here to stay, and there's going to be more of it. And what I see now currently, our mature customers who started the BI journey some years back, now they come to a bit of a BI fatigue, or let's say a bit of a BI mess. They have really a lot of reports, really a lot of dashboards, numbers, and everything, and everything of that sort. So yeah, I see that one of the challenges, definitely for companies, bigger companies like enterprises, would be a bit of a cleanup, a bit of a simplification of this view, maybe going back to really defining the concept of the business. What are the key KPIs that we really need to monitor? Having a bit of maybe easier, streamlined view or access to those numbers, and then being able to create some kind of story behind it. Because yeah, I see this also as one of the trends, is storytelling, and then being able not to just show the numbers, but really put them into perspective, into some kind of a story that a person can relate to, and immediately it resonates with him, and that leads a person to not only an insight, but also to some actionability, like what to do with that insight, and bringing the tools, for example, like Infinity Forms, that can help with that actionability.
Yeah, absolutely. And that storytelling that you mentioned there, the context behind the data and the people, the context and story behind the people and the processes in the organization. Very few people can do that well, I think, but it's really important, isn't it? It's really important to get trust and confidence and inspiration from the data and analytics. So you're absolutely right, I think, to pull out the continual need for people to, context is king, to really add that behind the data and put that into your organization. As for cleaning up, streamlining, cleaning up, yeah, I've seen it. I've done it. I've been there, and you start creating more and more and more, and you do need some sort of housekeeping. In fact, actually, even getting some independence, other people to come in, have a look at your deployments. Some critical friends. You can even build up some mutual relationships between peers, or like in the industry. Obviously not where it's competitive, but you can do that. And, that's a really good way, isn't it, of having an independent assessment of, where your deployment is. And I know companies do it as well, don't they? BI companies will give you a health check, if that makes sense as well. So it's a good tip. Yeah. Great. So in terms of what sort of solutions are you seeing people really going for? You talked a bit some of the challenges, what people are doing, but what sort of solutions do you think Radovan are sort of really helping the industry now?
Well, one of the things that I've seen I've been working in this industry for 12 years now. So I've seen the silos. I've seen creation of data warehouses, and really now I see the emergence of the solutions that emerge different functions of data, or maybe if there are silos, they merge those silos. For example, we've been working on a workforce management solution, and that is basically a merging of some project management data, HR data, ERP data, in order to create this holistic view of not only like what are people doing, but also how it affects the business. So for example, this and more and more we focus on this because quite frankly, people are just immensely valuable for a company to monitor also the fluctuation, retention of the employees. That's just and what kind of skill sets they have. That's starting to be really the key differentiator for many businesses. So
yeah,
that we one of the topics. Then definitely, of course, ability to model cash flows, ability to bring this online data from Google Analytics or from social media into your marketing applications, so that you can merge it with CRM data or ERP data in order to again have a better sense of what is actually which marketing activities actually make an impact and which do not.
Yeah, bottom line here is about connecting data together, understanding the business processes, really the clarity on the outcomes, and connecting all that together. And HR, you mentioned HR analytics, workforce, and what have you. Still a really untapped area. You find a lot of that data stored in cloud systems. Organizations have cloud deployments for that kind of thing. And what they don't necessarily always have is the ability to combine it with other data sources within their own environment, do they? So I think what we see here with people like what you do and eMark is help people connect that data together, help understand, get the best solution for their business problems that they face. And that's really powerful, isn't it, when you start connecting data up together?
Definitely, and also going back to my first to what I was talking about at the beginning, to really start to connect those raw data, not just going through multiple steps of cleaning up and refining the data and then showing it as a really nice managerial report. That really doesn't make an impact. When we made an impact with customer, it was always when we started at the beginning at the rawest form of that data and helped the customer to understand not only the end results, but also the journey that the data has to go through in order to being presented, and what it actually what is the impact of how this KPI looks like, what are the results, and how it translates to what kind of raw data has to be created, because that in the end defines and tells the story of how the business process is doing. We have this we see this in manufacturing a lot and distribution, because that's just the truth that they see, and they immediately, if they understand this, then they immediately can say, okay, if we move this, if we focus on this KPI, this is how it will affect our business processes.
Yeah, absolutely, and really getting into the heart of people, process, systems is it's just good business sense, isn't it? Yeah, so fantastic. And in terms of success stories from from doing the work that you've done with the customers, have you got a really great one that you can share with our audience?
Well, I do. One of them. I'm super proud of. We've been working for a long time with a company called Asset. It's basically antivirus software company. They're one of the leaders in the on the global market, basically, with antivirus software. Last year, they basically first time achieved 500 million revenues, so quite a big company. They're headquartered here, and for the past few years, we've been working with them on setting up and refining a business planning in completely in Click. And you really cannot, or I personally cannot conceive of a better example of how you influence the business when I consider the business planning side. Like that's really like what those people do there with those tools. They really influence how the business will be run in the next years, in the next months. So that's just for me the very clear example and great achievement for Asset, that they really internalized that solution and really deployed it worldwide. And I believe that it really has had an impact on their performance and their achievements. So I'm really proud of that success story.
That's a great example, and data-driven approach for business planning, understanding your demand, the real depth and detail of your demand, your volumetrics, your efficiency along those process points, the people. But that's just so powerful, and it's surprising how few people really actually go down that path of the proper data-driven planning process. And I know things like what you just described there will make a huge will make a huge difference to customers around the world. So folks, if you are interested in finding out more about those great opportunities for data-driven planning processes, then please get in contact with Radovan there. But sorry for your plug, but I thought it was really important that connect people across the world to find out more, isn't it? Learn, understand, and those lessons learned, Radovan, from the work that you've been doing. That use case is a good one. What kind of lessons can people learn from doing this kind of stuff, good and bad?
Mm-hmm. Tying it back to that story about Asset, there were a lot of lessons learned there, because as I said, it was a multi-year cooperation. And one of the biggest lessons of that cooperation is definitely that the agile approach works. That's for us as a solution provider. It's definitely a success story of how we were able to deliver in agile manner and iterations, and really start with simpler version of that business planning and go into very, very complex one nowadays. So that would be one thing, but if we look back, of course there were not only happy situations, and definitely the communication and this kind of statement pops into my mind, like bad news early is good news, and that's so true. That's like a meta knowledge that I learned over the years. Like, no matter how difficult a situation there is on the project or internally against your employees or whatever, the sooner you'll start talking with them and initiate the dialogue, and especially this initiation, like you start that dialogue. It's just better. It's just better to really be the one proactive and bring the bad news. And in the end, everybody is has a sense of understanding if it's discussed in a proper manner, and something good will come out of it, even if the situation is dire.
Do you know what? I love that. I mean, I'm a big fan of organizational learning cultures. having implemented, a few big ones in the past for organizations. And that confidence and the culture of people proactively in a preventative way, sharing those lessons and, again, facing up and, really, really doing the right thing, the values of the organization put at the heart of, people, individuals that work for them. That is so important and so powerful. And certainly, when we're talking about data, lots of hidden things, lots of magic stuff going on behind.
Yeah.
It's got to be open and it's got to be open and transparent. Yeah,
and definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that agile methodology that you mentioned in the first part, Radovan, that really encourages, because you're getting people to collectively build and work together, aren't you, in the agile methodology, which creates in itself a transparency of working. And I hear that a lot from a lot of people on this series, Pushing the Boundaries, where people have said agile working, lessons learned, agile working, and different levels of how far do you take it. Do you really get dressed up in your scrum gear, or you just happy to sit down with a great cup of coffee and then sort of talking, but different levels. But I'm really, really pleased to see, again, it's really making a big impact in the industry, that kind of stuff. So great, two things there. And
if I could a third one,
yeah, go on. Yeah,
I cannot admit my Click developer mentality, and definitely to everybody who is a Click developer and listening, I say having developed like hundreds of applications in my years with Click, I would say just decide about your coding rules. Like if you would like to use lower letters or capitals for functions, and what kind of indentation you use, decide on one and then stick to it everywhere you go. Don't change around, because it just speeds up the process. If you don't have to think about that, things that how you write the code, it just makes it 100 times faster. I would say clear your mind from unimportant things, like what kind of spaces and capital letters or no capital letters to use. Just decide on one library of main variables and use them everywhere, and just do it everything the same, and don't stress about it.
That's a great tip, and hopefully all of those budding and actually even more experienced people will either be nodding and say, yeah, I absolutely agree with that, or actually, maybe I think I need to do a bit more of that. So that's a great tip. And I was speaking to Angelika Kleidas on Pushing the Boundaries the other week. We haven't released it yet, but she does a lot of teaching. I might catch up with her, or she may watch this and have a look and see if that needs to be included in her course as well. So it's a great tip there, Radovans. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Good stuff. Yeah, good stuff. So moving on, what kind of thinking about the future now? What kind of cool trends do you see coming this year in analytics? We just had Click World, haven't we? Feel free to include anything there that really stood out for you. But it could be broad. It could be anything really. What sort of things do you think coming down the line this year it's going to make an impact?
Well, definitely, I loved this idea of integrating all of these different tools to one platform within Click environment. That's definitely a good trend. That's definitely needed to be a bit of give a little bit of advice to Click, if I can. Yeah, we definitely do need to have a bit of a integration of those different tools that now in Click ecosystem. But from my perspective, and what I've been enthusiastic recently about is really associating sensor and online data with company business data. Definitely, we started cooperating with one of the providers here in Slovakia who install sensors in office buildings, in shops, in manufacturing companies. And when you merge this data with your ERP data, you get a different level of insight into what is currently happening. Definitely this this line of streaming analytics and actionable analytics to really have near real-time insights to what is happening in your shop, office, company, manufacturing place. So this, I think, is one of the this will be definitely one of the things. Again, more data. It will bring more complexity into BI systems, but it has such a huge potential, and not only for manufacturing, but definitely property management, utilities, healthcare, of course, retail, and these sorts of things. So I'm really looking forward to doing projects in that space.
Yeah, that's great. And even, for example, like the quest and challenge around the COVID stuff. So, who is using the hand sanitizer, the Internet of Things, all the sensors about what's happening in your buildings, how many people are going through, how close they are, all that kind of, potential real-time monitoring stuff that will help make sure that people are kept safe, during those challenges. So great set of applications, I think, there with that. Any other really great things that you're seeing that you think can really make a big difference?
Well, also this I really like. I'm a very, very, very enthusiastic about what you guys doing with Infinity and Infinity Forms. Like that's another level for BI. Definitely not only keep it in the dashboards, and then, God forbid, exporting it to Excel or sending it via email. That's not the future, definitely. With, again, bringing more complexity, more data into the BI systems, you definitely need those actionable write-back functionalities for commenting, for doing workflows, for setting up targets, and this kind of stuff. That's very important. Such a small thing that can make a huge difference is just to create some reference point for your data. Like any kind of KPI you have, if you don't have a reference number, like what you want to achieve, like kind of a target or some benchmark, it just doesn't tell you the whole story. So
yeah, that's great. That's a really good point. And I think that's quite a differentiator, having actionable analytics and being able to kind of converse and communicate, collaborate across people using the analytics and being part of that. Because for a lot of people, when you've got a click environment set up, the analytics, it's kind of like the way you use it every day. It's part of your business, and you want to be able to integrate and collaborate, approvals, workflows, like you were saying. So I think there's some really good pointers there for how people can change the way that they use and view analytics. And for me, workflow management it's all about efficiency. It's all about productivity. It's all about outcomes being delivered. And the most important bit is engagement. We talked about people and technology, but if you've got an easy way of getting people to see data, talk about processes and results, then you're going to get better results in your business, aren't you? People are going to work together better. So I think that's a great shout there, Radovan. So thank you for bringing that up. We'll take that, Infinity. Thank you. And I think what's probably a good idea now, if I can put you on the spot a little bit, is see you kind of sort of knew this was coming, didn't you? I guess, but do you think you could possibly do us a bit of a demo? You're Click Luminary, and we'd love to see a bit of cool stuff that you've done that you're particularly proud of. And I haven't seen it, so it's going to be quite fresh for me. So I'm sure it'll be fresh for the audience. So what are you going to do for us?
All right. So I'll just share my screen.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. So we've been working for a long time on distilling the knowledge that we learned from our projects, and created multiple solutions. There's no time to go through all of them, but what I like, coming back to what I talked about before, that this need for associating data. We have here like one of our key solution. It's basically sales solution. It gives you a overview of sorry, we don't see the sales here, but never mind that. So gives you an overview of sales. But what I wanted to show most importantly was that we merged data from Google Analytics to this sales data. So what you have here is basically the insight to how your website is performing, even if you are not online retailer, but it's important because that's a very important marketing channel. So when you have a website which gets some traffic and you have some call to action on that website, like you use that to get leads for your company, it's really important to analyze what is the timeline of those sessions, what is the bounce rate, like how much time people spend on that website, where do they come from, like what is the structure, where they came from, not geographically, but from the internet space, like what was the source, how they got to that website, was it a referral, did they was it the link from some blog post or from social media? Are there new visitors to that website? And then, of course, Google Analytics has this wonderful feature that was revealed only recently. It has a client ID, which you can merge. If you do that, if you collect those kind of things in your systems, then you can merge it with your ERP data. So you can see basically, let's say for some source. You can see then, okay, in which dates maybe my sessions or my page views or the conversions which I had set up on my website, how they influenced the quantity that was sold to my customers. Maybe drill down to a specific channel of those customers and stuff like that. So I see this as one of the key things to look into in the future, to really associate these different parts of your data space, of the company's data space.
That's really powerful, and you can see about how, again, you're utilizing different data sources from your internal or external, and using the power of the associative engine and stuff, and Click itself, and that's really, really, really powerful. Yeah, and you can see lots of different applications that could exploit those kind of things. So, where are you taking all of this? Are you doing something for a customer at the moment? Are you able to tell us that or not?
Oh, not right now. It's one of the. It's a financial institution. They are starting to really. They really want to create a more holistic view on their customer base. So this is just one of the things that they will look at, and of course there will be multiple online sources that they will merge into one associated application for marketing purposes, to really track the performance of marketing campaigns.
Yeah, that's great. And again, great to see pushing the boundaries in this direction. It's great to see. And if anyone wants to find out a bit more, I'm sure they'll be able to hook up with you and explore. I think, a lot of these things, you don't know what you need, and you don't know what you don't know, do you? So I think just seeing and thinking and talking can really open up new opportunities to do business differently. And I think, if you think about the current climate that we're working in, we've got to open our minds. We've got to open, everything up to thinking, actually, do we do things the same way, or do we do things different, and think, how do we exploit the new norm, as it were? So thank you so much for showing people that. And thinking about moving forward to the future, what your career? Wait. Of course, you're at eMark, but what's next? What's next for you?
Oh, I recently made a partner, so now I'm one of the managing partners of eMark. So that's a whole other set of responsibilities that one must tend to. Of course, we want to grow. We want to bring our solutions to a wider market, because why not? we think they're good. So why not? We would like to would like to expand our region of influence, let's say. So that, and for me personally, I will definitely be more looking at this IoT data. I mean, I didn't mention it, but Qlik has a REST API connector, and that's just amazing thing. It's just one of my favorite things. In there is Josh Good from Qlik space. He always shows his 5 favorite things. So for me, there's definitely 6th favorite thing to his list. He should add the REST connector, because it just opens the possibilities of connecting all these online sources, definitely IoT data, definitely cloud data, because it has very, very good security. So if a company is concerned about the data pipeline from and to the cloud, if they have some cloud data, for example, this HR use case, because that's personal information, you need to be really careful about the security of that data. So the REST connector is a perfect solution for that, because it's secure, it has good possibilities of structuring data. So I really love that, and I'm looking forward to work with that more and expand my knowledge. Also, with regards to what I created for Qlik Community, the one of the monitoring tools. I didn't show that, but it's one of the monitoring tools for the Qlik Sense environment, because there's currently no almost real-time monitoring of how that environment is performing, and if it's still on. Because if you are a company like us, we had to deal with it, because we have of course an SLA with some of our customers that we need to maintain the environment to some degree, like 99.9% per year. And for that, you need data in order to really be able to react instantly when something happens. So yeah, we created that tool and shared it with community as well, so that others could utilize it for that.
That's great. So I hope we can come back and talk with you, again, and find out where you've been moving with all these great things you've been talking about today. And thank you so much for sharing that, and for doing the demo as well. And I hope people will get in contact with you just to talk great stuff. And I think people, again, it's about sharing, it's about learning, and hopefully people will do that and look at this and do that. So thank you again. I hope you have a great week. And take care, buddy.
Thank you as well for the interview. It was lovely. Yeah. Have a nice rest of the week as well.
Cheers. All the best.
Bye.
Okay.